Alright, here we go. Let's see, what did we do last? What was the last thing? Last session, we got expanded this little breathy room a little bit. This is the one small space we can take off our clothes and breathe. Got the oxygen here improved, where this guy is now only filled with oxygen, and we've got a big smart canister with lots of air in here, so that's nice. Better oxygen. If I remember right, we were running out of water is a current issue to deal with. You need to be trading for water. Most importantly, the last thing we did last session, was to set up the furnace, the advanced furnace over here, which we used to craft a little steel for testing. But we've got a collection system for air, collecting the hot air during the peak of the day when it's super hot, and the cold air during the trough in the night when it's super cold. That's giving us basically essentially infinite supply of hot air and cold air to run our furnace. And then as well, we're capturing a little of that to fill the jetpack, which I'm going to do now. So this is huge. This is big progress up until this point. It's been a little bit of a struggle, and I've been doing all of the crafting basically based on the time of day. If we want to craft something cold, you have to wait till the middle of the night when it's cold. If you want to craft something hot like steel, you gotta wait for the peak of the day when the sun's in the center of the sky. It is dawn right now. The sun's coming up. So now with this setup, we can just run the furnace whenever we want. Big progress. Alright, so this session, this should be a good one. Now we can start to... We're kind of like entering the mid-game a little. We can start to relax a little. We can start to improve the everything. Particularly this dude. This dude needs... Oh, what is this? What the fuck? Oh, pipe burst. Interesting. Okay, one sec. This dude needs to get better equipment. His equipment's pretty shit. So that's priority one, I think, today. We're gonna improve this dude's equipment. Alright, looks like that burst. I know what's happening here. We've got liquid pollution that's building up, so we need to make a drain and throw that on the pipe out there, and then we'll be good. Hopefully that doesn't damage or cause explosions on that guy. And then we can turn on this vent to vent that all out into space. My bad. Alright, immediately problems. Can I do this right out here? Go like that. Can I do it through the wall, please? Thank you. There it is. And that'll spray out there. Okay, so what happened there is we're taking that cold air from night and we're pumping it into here for our jetpack. That was, the liquid was building up. As the pressure built up, that pollution went from gas into liquid, which built up pressure in the pipes and caused explosions. So that's what that was. We can fix that easily and quickly. I'm glad I was checking that out. If we didn't notice it sooner, it would have filled up the base with hot polluted oxygen, or hot pollution, which is not good. Anyway, we'll just put that there. Add a drain there, so any liquids will just get squirted out into the atmosphere, and then we should have no troubles. I could go double check to make sure that that's looking okay, but I'm pretty confident it is. Alright, let's see. I was thinking too, we no longer need this welding torch. I'm going to throw that out into space. Goodbye forever. That's nice. Alright, so what do we want to do? I want to build advanced alloys using the fancy new smelting setup here. And then with the advanced alloys, we can build better equipment. That's a high priority. I was thinking too, I can fix these solar panels. I remember I tried last session to get these so that they would turn off during the night, and I was running into bugs. I'm pretty sure I figured that one out as I was going to bed. We can get that fixed now. And where is my laptop? Laptop where? I better not put it in there, that would be fucked. Should be on me. On my person. I can make a new laptop if I have to. But we shouldn't need to. Let's see. None of those are laptop. There it is. Okay. Laptop. So let's take a look. I'm going to edit this. Let's go ahead and load up the script we're using for our solar panels. Alright, this is straight up assembly code. So this is the script that we have for tracking the sun and updating our solar panels to just set the vertical and the horizontal to point in the correct direction straight at the sun. I remember this wasn't working for me, and I'm pretty sure I figured it out. We want to use not 1 here. This is saying if it's day, then skip this hard coding, but we need to have a 2. It was jumping to the next line either way. 2 is going to skip this and go to the JRaw. I was thinking, too, let's make it a 3 so that we don't track vertical anymore, and then we can move the vert to, it's going to be something low, probably, like 10, 20. Something like that. Okay, so let's do that real quick. That's an easy fix for the solar panels. Overwrite that, and then we can put that outside in a second. Okay, that's one thing to do. How's all my things in my stuff? Let's fill up all of our equipment. I need to go out and do some farming. I want to make advanced things. The advanced hard suit would be good. That's stellite and astroloy. So we need stellite and astroloy and waspaloy. And I'm sure I'm pronouncing all these wrong. But getting upgrades to the equipment is going to be a big improvement. Not only giving us more space and storage, but giving us the ability to go outside in the sun more. It's just like more insulated is the big thing. So we can go out in the sun and be less afraid of the high heat during the peak of the day. And go out and mine when we need to, build and whatnot. So those are things to do. I think maybe top priority would be the super cool goggles, which is in Canal. So let's take, what does those take? Let's take a look. In Canal is gold, steel, nickel. It's extremely temperamental on the pressure. Needs a very fine pressure with not a particular, this temperature is easy. We can just use the air from outside. This is a huge range. So the warm air we have gathered will make this. Okay, we could probably make this right now. Gold, steel, nickel. We've got the mats. We definitely cannot make this right now, but that's going to be easy to farm for. Okay. What else? I was thinking I wanted to make some storage. Which is this guy. So that's going to be lockers. Need some iron for that, so we need to farm iron. I think we basically need to farm everything. And now that we've got a good furnace set up, it's going to be way, way, way easier to process resources. Okay, so let's just hang out for a couple minutes until it gets dark out, and then we can go do some mining, or at least not go out when the sun is directly in the top of the sky there, the hottest portion of the day. And let's look for trading. I remember we're about to die from water. Galactic Gush is exactly what we need. Give me that good gush, uwu. This guy's got water. Gush means water. Pretty sure. Orbiting Orchards 2 might have water. I think that's food. Which we've already got the seeds. And we've got a decent supply of food. So we don't really need this one. But if he's got water, I want to bring him in. Alright, so we'll call on that trader. And then let's see if he's got water there. Still running? Yeah. Are you running? Yes. It's taking a long time to pump the vacuum. Holy. What do we got in here for air? How much air did I leak? Not a ton. Okay, this is alright. Where am I? Oh, this is the wrong one. What am I doing? Here we go. Alright, Gush guy. You sell water, right? Bulk water. Perfect. This is what we need more than anything. It's pretty much all we need. It's got liquid nitrogen if we want. Not particularly. We could buy some oxygen. Don't really need that either. Emergency water is too expensive. This is perfect. So let's just get as much of this as we can. I'm going to completely empty it. And we're going to need to... This is overpressurized now. Immediately dump that into our system. Okay. Give me all of the water that you got. We're going to totally run you out of water. And then I will send you away because I have nothing that I can sell to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and empty that water into our system. That's the wrong item. Are you empty? You look like you're empty now. Turn that off. Let's check on the water. How much water do we have in here? 145 liters. Nice. 145 liters to 20C. Alright, it is hot right now. It's like 600 in the peak of the day. So let's go back inside for a minute. Okay, well that immediately solves the most important problem. That was pretty lucky. Let's check out this orchard guy too. And I need to turn off my funny binds that I use for StarCraft. Default. Okay. Good. Alright, Orchard dude. You not working? Do we need to adjust? We just need to turn power up, I think. How about that? There it is. Okay, we'll let that run. How's the power? Good. Power is good now. Had a couple power issues last time. Got those adjusted. Looks like it's tracking the sun nicely. It's gonna take a minute. Oh, big moon. It's the daddy moon. Look how big it is. There's a daddy moon and a baby moon. Wow. Wow. Look at that moon go. That's content. I love the effect of the sun. I think it's like a black hole. That's what it's supposed to be. Or something. A black hole with a bunch of light around it. Ripped up a star or something. I think it's a black hole digesting a star. That's my theory. Alright, it's probably getting cold now. It's about time to head out. Let's make sure we finish this and get them called in so that we can turn this off, save some power, maybe turn this down a little too. Okay. And out we go. Alright, so real quick, I wanted to fix the solar panels. Let's see these working maybe. Put that there, export, put it back. So that code we just wrote, we programmed it. Alright, you still working, or are you gonna break and go back? Okay, the solar radiance is at 0. So I was using solar radiance to determine, like, is it day or is it night? And it looks like... What are you guys doing? Okay, they're doing what I told them to do. So, this is not what I expected. We're definitely getting some solar power. So the solar radiance being at 0 when the sun's out mean that that's not the metric I'm interested in. Okay, so I immediately regret my decisions. Let's go ahead and just comment this out again. Leave it as is. We need to figure out what variable we can use to see just like, is day? Is the sun on or not? Anyway, let's move out. We're good to go, I think. Everything looks good. Oh, actually, I take that back. I need to empty my exhaust tank before we go out. Oh, and I think someone knows things. Let me read this. It's a black hole. Ooh. Ring of light is the accretion disk made of all the material being sucked into a black hole. Okay, yeah. So pretty much what I was saying. It's a black hole that's slurping up a planet or something. That's fun. I love this planet. This is a cool game. And a really interesting planet. Alright, so I was about out of space here. We're going to open that and close it. We can swap out the oxygen to fill up our tank. Other than that, I think we're good to go. Food and water are not amazing. We could fix that too real quick. That's easy enough. Let's see. This is my cake that's going bad first, so we will eat that. We now have tons of water in our system that we can drink. Gonna leave some reserve bottles on the ground here. In fact, we should just like fill up all of these so that when our system runs out of water again, we'll have a lot of spare water already ready to go in bottles. Less likely to get into a sketchy territory if we have like an hour's supply of water always. Seems good. Turn you off. Good to go. Everything good? Oh yeah, one more thing I forgot we got to do. The biggest accomplishment of the last session is that I was able to bring in a trader that sold me the health pill so that I could get rid of the heavy breathing sound effect. Get rid of all the damage that we had done to our character. That's a nice upgrade. Okay, we're ready to go. Let's go ahead and save just in case things go fucky. What did I need in Canal is gold, steel, nickel in particular. We just need everything. But gold, steel, nickel's what we'll start with. And actually, before I head out, one more thing to do. I want to grab a belt, spare belt. Got a spare belt right there. Ooh, baby moon, daddy moon. Okay. Alright, we now have infinite propellant as well, so I can pretty much keep this on at all times. It actually kind of makes sense to keep it on at all times. It'll help prevent you from getting shoved around or accidentally like falling in lava. It's pretty much when we're mining. We'll be running our jetpack all the time now. We have an infinite supply of propellant. The only thing to be concerned with there is not using it inside the base, as it is very hot and bad gases, volatiles, and probably some polluted pollution. Alright, but we can fill up a bag immediately. There's some stuff. We've already got steel, we need gold. And then we can get the cool kid goggles that let us see through the ground. That's going to make mining way easier. Oh, that's interesting. Vulcan's train's messed up because it's supposed to be tidal forces from the orbiting black hole. That's fun. Are you like a dev or something? Did you make this game? You seem knowledgeable. How do you know so many things? Are you just making this all up confidently like ChatGPT? Are you just inventing things to confuse people? Because it sounds pretty convincing and I believe you. Well done. You tricked me good. That's fun. I wonder if that means too that like as the planet gets slurped into the black hole, if that's going to affect like the amount of light or heat it's putting out. And then eventually the planet will cool off in like 1,000,000 years or something. That would be a hard planet to live on. Nah, I think the description's in the menu. Oh, okay, so you can read. It's a rare skill. I TLDR'd the game. I just jumped in and started dying. It's worked pretty good for me. I fucking love this game. This is one of my all-time favorite games. For sure. This one and Oxygen Not Included. I'm gonna start a save of Oxygen Not Included sometime soon too. I'm not sure if I want to do both this game and that game at the same time, since they kind of scratch the same itch. But I definitely love both of them. Engineering games are a lot of fun. Have you tried Planet Crafter? I have. Planet Crafter's fun. I've played through all that a couple times. Yeah. That's the one where you, like, terraform a planet over time. That was a good one. Generally speaking, I like pretty much any sort of problem-solving engineering game. Those are a lot of fun for me. I'm not as much of a fan of, like, FPSs. Even, like, Battlefield, it's not an FPS to me. It's just like a flight sim. Alright, already filled the bags immediately. This new drill is so much better. I want to go check. Let's look while it's dark. We can go play around outside with the... outside of our base without really any cost. I just want to go look. We saw one of the pipes burst already. Is anything damaged over here? How are our systems? Looks like the auto... let's see. Auto gathering at night is working. Cold tanks at 13 megapascals. Looks good. Teeny bit of pollution that's getting sprayed out. You're supposed to be at like 20, right? You're at 12. He's working on it. He's pumping. Any damage here? No, no. It's mad about condensation, but it's draining there. Okay, that seems fine. This guy's filling slower, but 7 megapascals in a large tank already is pretty good. Alright, so these are all looking alright. No damage or anything. Nothing funny. Time wasters? Absolutely not. How dare you? Those are the best uses of your time. Oni and Stationeers. Amazing. Amazing games. Big fan. Alright, this guy sells stuff. I don't know if I want to buy any of his stuff. Do you want to buy anything? What do you want to buy? Things we can't really afford. I could sell this, I guess, or one of these. They're not really for much money. I'm just gonna let you go. You're all good, dude. Alright, and after filling our water bottles, we still have about 140 liters. Here comes the sun. We can head back into our base to hide from the heat. And now we have plenty of materials to do things and stuff. Okay, so starting, I want to do just some plain, boring old iron. I'm gonna save before I make mistakes. Pretty much want to save before you ever start smelting. It's pretty easy to accidentally screw up. Alright, so this is our setup. We got all this is all ready to go. Got all these switches. We put stuff in the input on the left. It'll get cooked in here. Got some gauges to see what's going on. And then it drops on our head and tries to knock us unconscious. It's going to turn on this activate switch so that as soon as the stuff is ready, it will come out. Let's just make some iron. Do a bunch of iron. Start with that. Okay, so that is cold as it's melting. I was thinking I kind of want to reprogram this too. We don't really care to see the ingot there. It doesn't matter because the activate switch here, basically the only purpose of this is you can see when it's ready for you to release it. And this button does that automatically. We don't need to be paying attention to that. I was thinking it'd be better if we could see like the count of regions there or something. Let's see if we can put some better information over here. Can I program you to give me something interesting? What are our options? We've got the hash display. No, there's no options. It's just hash display. Maybe we want to use a different sort of display instead of hash. I'm pretty sure we could see like the region counts. In particular, I'm looking to see like has stuff melted. Alright, anyway, so we just threw some stuff in there. We got it all smelted down. It's 164 C. It's very cold, so I turn on the exhaust. That's going to get emptied. That's going out into this tank, and then we'll get filtered, capture any nitrogen on the way out into that tank. So we've got a nitrogen supply that'll slowly build up as we're doing this. We might also want to add a dial or two to control the input-output. The one we want to do, this guy, has extremely fine requirements for the pressure. So it makes sense to manually use the dials and just barely turn on the out until it reaches the correct spot, if that makes sense. That's pretty trivially easy to do. Instead of spending time talking about it, I'll just do it. Give me a dial. A dial is a I/O input thing, I think. I/O, logic I/O. Maybe. I think it might just be a special switch. You need ferns to make pills. I don't know about making pills. Usually in the past, this is not what I want. In the past, I have done, you do the cryo chamber, and you just hang out in that, and that'll solve the problems. So that's what I usually do. But it seems like they've tweaked the cryo chamber so that you need to have more than just an atmosphere. You need to have nitrogen as well, liquid nitrogen. So we don't have any of that, and it's going to be hard to get it on this world. The plan for cooling is to use liquid pollutant. And then that'll cool everything off for us. Alright, what am I doing here? I think I want to put this like here and here would be good. If we can. Which I think we can. I'll save before anything funny happens, but I think this is fine. Yeah, that'll work. There. Okay, there's that. Let's do the same thing here. Alright, now those got some space there, but it's still all plugged in correctly. Give me those dials. Okay, one dial there, one dial there. These are going to go from 0 to 10. We're going to have an input and an output dial. Okay, max is 10, max is 10. They're going to be needed, or they're going to need to be labeled. So we will call this input dial. We will call this output dial. Okay, and then they're going to need to be programmed. We will go ahead and turn this off and grab our chip and import, edit, pause to save some time. Let's jump down. So now we have an import dial and an output dial. Let's say alias v input dial rate. What's it called on the advanced furnace? Let's take a look at the API. What do you got for in and outs and whatnot? We're looking for the air in and air out, which I know we can manually control using the, or programmatically control, I mean. Okay, setting input, setting output. Pretty sure that's it. So we'll call it the setting input. Going to be R7, alias V setting output. It's going to be R6, 5, 6, 7, 5, 8, 9 numbers. We're going to pull that in, or we're going to capture that from here. This is not going to be a switch. It's going to be input dial. It's going to be a dial. And a dial hash is what? Dial hash is structure logical dial. Okay, so we've got our dial there. We're now going to grab the setting from the dial that we have, the input dial. We're also going to grab the output dial. Output dial setting. Okay. What else? We need to tweak these. So they're going to be values from 0 to 10, which is going to correspond from 0 to 100 is the full range there. So we need to multiply these by 10. Let's say multiply the setting input by itself, or it's going to be itself multiplied by 10. Then the same thing here. Multiply the setting output, setting output 10. Okay, so we're now collecting the input dial, collecting the output dial, multiplying them both by 10 so that we can go 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, all the way up to 100. Finally, we need to assign that to the furnace. So we're going to say set d furnace. What is it? Setting input is going to be v setting input. And then set d furnace. Setting output, v setting output. Okay, looks good. Now, this might work. This might not, but I think we're okay. We're going to save that to the advanced furnace code that we have. We're going to confirm. We're going to export. We're going to throw that back in. And then we can test. Let's see. So if I turn this on, we can see our little dials there. You can see, oh, there it is. See that? See it turning as we turn the thing? Okay, so now we got manual controls over this dial. Well, this guy's still hiding and not isolated. I have a spreadsheet that shows all smelting temperatures and pressure ranges on a graph. Nice. Spreadsheet nerd. You do it in an Excel sheet if you're extra nerdy. If you're super duper turbo nerd. If you're a super duper turbo nerd, you'll write some assembly code to handle crafting all of the everything for you. I think ideally the dream is at the very end someday. I want to, or not at the very end, but further along in the game, I want to automate stuff. The very end of farming, I guess. I want to automate stuff so that it's just like filling up vending machines with every resource, including the rare ones, like the funny alloys and that sort of thing. That would be fun to do. I haven't written that code for doing like specialized cooking for special alloys. I think the most advanced I've done so far is getting an automated steel production set up so you don't have to deal with that. All right. Anyway, where are we? Just added dials. You can see them working. Let's turn them all the way up for both so that air is just flowing in and out. It just makes a very tight loop. And then we can start adding air. Okay, so we've already exhausted everything. I'm looking to finish crafting the iron, which means we just add a little bit of heat here. And then it'll immediately be done. Okay, that's good. I want to move the stacker over. Let's get the stacker in a different spot. This is okay. Alright. Set that to 50. Turn that on. Come on now. Okay, this is just like a whole bunch of iron. We want to split it up into reasonable stacks. Alright, and then I will poop you. We're starting with iron. I wanted to make those shelves, right? Let's get some shelves. These are... I just want to put some shelves over here. We'll probably have shelves to hold ore. But in particular, it's nice to, like, get whatever you want to craft all ready to go on a shelf. And then you can do the cook as soon as you're ready. But that's how we're going to prepare. So let's get a couple shelves out here. Maybe not like 30 shelves, but some. And where do you want to put it? Can't be in the wall because it's gross. Let's get a little line of shelves. Pew. Alright. Even that's enough. That's gonna help. Okay. What did I want to do? This one. Gold, steel, nickel. Got it. What's the ratios? More gold than steel and nickel. Okay. What did we get? 2 gold. Need more gold. Steel. Nickel. Does nickel make any sort of heat? What do you off gas? Nitrogen, pollutant, carbon dioxide. None of those are going to create an oxalite or an oxidizer. So I am ready to... I can just cook that now. And that should help. Are you empty? I want to see the region count there. I don't even know if you're empty. I'm like 90% sure you're empty. In fact, I'm 100% sure you're empty. But it'd be good to see that for sure. Alright, let's cook a couple stacks of nickel. Just throw the ore over here now. All the ore could live in this area. All this ore should move too. Is it all going in the right spot? Come on now. You full? You're full. That's okay. Just getting rid of everything. Okay. That is nice and poorly sorted. 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. Okay. 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. Then you are nickel. Did you poop nickel? Didn't I make you poop nickel? Did you not poop nickel? I'm going to do the force evacuate there. Is there anything in there? Nickel, nickel. Did you get too cold? Is that what happened? Probably. Add some heat. Add some heat. Exhaust. Add some more heat. There it is. Why isn't that working? The activate switch is no longer working. Something to do with the code that I added, likely? Okay, well I can force evacuate with the force open. But I definitely want to... definitely want that to be working. That's an important button. Let's take a look at that real quick. Did I fuck up my code when I made that small adjustment with the dials or something? What's going on here? What's the recipe hash for nickel? Negative bazillions. I wonder if that's... if a negative a bazillion is counted as like a 0. Let's say we're going to load the recipe hash and then we're going to set it to not equal to 0. Set not equal to 0. What is it? What is not equal to 0? EQZ and EQZ. Pause. Where's my EQZ? Set equal to 0. I want set not equal to 0. Anyone know? What's the command for not equal to z? Not equal to 0. Is there just like an equal? Let's see. NEZ? Maybe. There's a bunch of branch not equal to 0. Okay, set not equal to 0. Got it. Sneeze. Sneeze with the hash. Okay, so if it's a negative bazillion hash, then this will be a 1 instead of being some negative number. That might be all we needed here. And I'm really not confident that's the case, but that's my guess. Let's do that. Let's export that. And let's try to cook a little bit more nickel and see what happens. And I can also check, what's the steel? No, so this one also is negative a bazillion, so I'm pretty sure that's not it. Can I like try and cook some more steel and see that working maybe? Let's just throw some nickel through and see what happens. We'll do the activate switch. We'll throw this guy in. That will get smelted. Let's turn on the exhaust there. Can put this cooked nickel there, get it ready. Alright, we have emptied all the bad air. Good enough. Let's get some heat here. There's that. Okay, and it automatically turns on. So that actually does work. It was the not equal to 0 thing. Huh. I'm not sure why steel worked before. But, sure. All good. Okay, easy fix. So, we got, this is one cook, which is going to be, what is it? Hot. This guy. Okay, I remember. This one, the temp doesn't matter. It can be pretty much any temp. It's the pressure that's tricky. Okay. So, let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to save just in case this goes wrong, but I think we can just do this right now. Super easy. Let's throw it all in. Turn that off. Don't want to craft anything until it's all ready. I'll just throw everything in. The gold is going to create a ton of heat, which debatably we should be using to cook other advanced metals, but that's okay. Let's add a little bit of heat there. That should make it combust. See the heat rising as it's combusting. We need very high pressure, so let's take the output and turn it all the way down. We have no output anymore. Pressure should go up, and it's not going to go up super high because eventually it'll be full. There will be no more air to add to the system, and now it's cooling off and getting cooling off, and pressure goes down, temp goes down. Okay. Add some heat. Let's turn on the activate switch. Shouldn't activate unless it's ready. And then we need like, what, 23 megapascals or something crazy. So let's just add air for a while. Going up. Make sure we don't bust the pipes. I take that back. There's a turbo pump that does like 50 units of addition, and then the thing itself is doing 100. So we should be able to leave this on. And the pipes won't burst before the furnace does. There it is. And even as we just barely passed that, that's enough for it to come out. So this activate switch, immediately useful. Alright, there we go. That is some advanced metal. Easy peasy. Throw that over there. Get us some nerd goggles. Thank you. And then we need the nerd goggle chip. There's a couple nerd goggle chips we want here. The ore scanner and the T-Rex in particular. We need Electrum and Waspaloy. What's Waspaloy? This is, again, a very easy temperature. Extremely high pressure is the tricky bit here. Silver, nickel, lead, with twice as much lead. Okay. Well then, let's cook some things. Got the lead, got the nickel, don't have, or we do have the silver? Not quite, almost. Now would be a good time to go farm that. Might want to do that. Let's go out real quick while we can. See if we can find some silver. Shut the door. Check the suit. Let's poop real quick. Let's close this. Poop. Put that into the airlock or air breathable room. Now we're ready to go. Food and water, fine. Save. Looking for silver. Bless you, thank you. Snez. Test? What you testing? Are you testing to see if this is live? Maybe. Maybe I just say this every once in a while. Completely randomly. And this is pre-recorded. Maybe I'm AI. You don't even know. I could be. Just looking pretty much exclusively for silver. Ninja, you already edited a clip? Oh my. That was fast. It's like a 30-minute delay between the violence and the video. Thank you for the help, my friend. I hope you enjoyed getting a few RPGs off. You're not silver. No music and stuff. It's not gonna do well on TikTok if you don't do the music. I hear everybody's doing that advertisement for the Jet to Holiday. Are you sure that you don't want to put Jet to Holiday in the background? That's what gets views. You gotta embrace the brain rot if you want to do well. Here comes the sun. I just need like one thing of steel, dude. Or one thing of silver. We still get that silver before it gets too warm. Do you want to show your friends? Nice. You did have some good ones. You had some long-range shots like a sniper. Here comes the sun. Here comes the black hole. Just like my cat. Uses a black hole for food. Here we go. Nice. Look at all that silver. We can do things. Silver for days. Silver and gold. There's probably a good chance to do stellite as well. Oh, what's it called? Maybe stellite? I don't know. Are you vacuum yet? Should I just leave that on at all times to make sure any gas in here goes away? Probably not a bad idea. Alright. I think I got everything we need here. Let's just unload some resources. Alright. And then, what was I looking at? Waspaloy, silver, nickel, lead. Got lead. That's lead, right? Lead. Silver and nickel. Nickel. Need one more thing of nickel. There we go. We good? You're empty? Let's double check. Okay.
Hunger caution.
I will feed you soon. You too, cat. Still on activate, so it should drop as soon as it's ready. There it is. Okay, so we got nickel, lead, and then silver, and it's twice as much silver, right? No, twice as much lead as the others. Okay. Okay, so we need 2 more things of lead. And then silver. So the silver is going to create a ton of heat, is what I'm thinking. What about the stellite? What do you take? Silver, silicon, cobalt. Very, very hot. Let's take a look at that. What's the ratios there? Twice as much silicon as cobalt and silver. Okay. Did you guys come out? You did. That goes there. And silver goes there too, right? Let's go back just to be sure. Silver, nickel, lead with twice as much lead. Silver, nickel, lead with twice as much lead. And you are silver, silicon, cobalt with twice as much silicon. So we need to cook some silicon. And we might need to go farm some silicon as well. Not a problem. So what I'm thinking, I want to get all these mats prepared for both of the cooks. I think what we want to do is I'm saving the ores of the things that are going to off-gas heat. Or off-gas, what do you call it? The oxygenator, oxalite oxidizer. Which will make fuel and heat. So we're going to just kind of run stuff through and maybe even dump it as reagents just to collect that heat. And then we can finish off this recipe in particular is what I want to do. So we'll probably do this recipe and then we can like let some air out to do the other one. Finish it all off, I think. I could be misremembering or doing some unnecessary stuff here. Okay, and this guy can go through too. I think we've already got enough silicon to do what we want to do. Silicon there. Just need to stack it. There it is. Now I got a stack of 50. Okay, so this is stellite. This is the waspalloy. Electrum we already have. I think we needed some of that. Let's throw that in. Alright, and this was for the nerd goggles, right? This one, yeah, okay. Oh, my nerd goggles are here. Nice, nerd goggles. Let's put them on. They do nothing. They do nothing currently because they need a processing thing. Alright, so what are we looking at? This one is 10 to 20 at very, very high temp. Okay. You are 50 to 100 at basically any temp. We can accomplish this with just the air that we have gathered. Alright. No problem. And we may even want to prepare some, we could do like more of the electrum. We could get that ready. That's just steel and gold, which makes a huge amount of heat. So like that would be a good way to generate what we need. But we might already be okay. Let's see. What to do here. I'm going to turn up the output dial. Turn up the input dial. Let's see. I'm going to save. Let's get rid of some gas. I see flames. Yeah? No? What's the sparkle? Are you on fire? Oh, you're just warm. He's just a spicy furnace. Okay, we'll get rid of some air. I'm gonna save again. Turn that off. Alright, so let's run stuff through. Just thinking. Alright, yeah. So we can just do the silver now. I'm gonna cook the silver. Just as is. So this will just add the heat. You can see the temperature's rising. Okay. We're looking for like very hot, which we've already achieved. I think that adding this should do it. I'll save right now just in case. I think we can just throw this in. Let's throw it all in and see what happens. Oh yeah, look at that temp. And this is what pressure again? 10 to 20. So we're going to need to let some out. Okay. So wait a second for everything to smelt. We'll turn on the activate switch. Is that all through? I see nothing in the, I see a little bit in the pipe still. You can see down there, there's some what do you call it? Silicon waiting to go through. I think there might be one more thing in there maybe. But okay, we'll turn on the activate switch. Let's turn the input, the input's fine the way it is. Let's turn the output down. Let's turn, what am I saying? Let's turn the input down. Output's still full. Is that gonna work for us? There it goes, okay. We'll turn the input back on. And that probably put a ton of pressure in the pipes back there. That probably did damage or risk bursting pipes. Gotta be careful with that, whoops. Okay, but there we go, we got that done. Let's do this one now. Turn off the activate switch. You can break that into two. Throw this guy in. And then the temp needs to go way down for this one. I'm glad I have some windows here to see. We need the reagent count. I just need to see, like, what's melting, basically. Their goggles are the best. Your goggles are a super fun feature. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit for just a second because my dude's super unhappy. Let's get some food and water and stuff. Then we can finish it momentarily. That goes off. We'll go ahead and do some pooping and swap out the oxygen and then eat and drink. How was the heat? 16 degrees Celsius. Not bad. Eat the cake. Drink the water. Okay. Dance a little bit. We've got the shower debuff. He's not happy. The longer we spend in this room, the happier he will be. But I don't want to live here. One day we'll be able to take off our suit when we get home. One day. Okay. Alright, so what are we looking for? Lower temp and higher pressure, I think. Okay, I'm gonna let some gas out. We need to get rid of the hot gas, which is a little bit wasteful, considering that's kind of hard to gather right now. And then we need to mix the hot air and the cold air, I believe. So let's let some cold air in. Let's activate switch, so as soon as it's ready, it's good. And what are we looking for? We're looking for 50 megapascals, max of 500. Okay. Let's turn off the output, so the pressure is only building up. Cool. That'd be fun. Asteroid map. All right, there we go. We hit the target. That comes out. Let's turn up the output again, and we can get rid of all that air. Let's just exhaust it. Easy peasy. The new setup here for the furnace. So good. Way better. This is infinitely better than what we've been doing up until this point. This is a nice setup. We can pretty much use this for the rest of the game for any sort of custom fancy materials. Or I guess everything for now. But custom fancy materials in particular. Alright, so this goes here. This goes here. We now can make the ore scanner. And let's get the T-Rex scanner as well. T-Ray. Alright, so this is the ore scanner, which we put in our nerd goggles. So now when we're mining, we can turn this on, and I don't know if we can see any. You can kind of see down there. You see some nodes. We can see through the ground. We can see where all the nodes are. If we're looking for something, we just zoom around, looking for whatever we want in particular, and then be able to have access to that. As well, we've got this option here for the T-Rex one. This is nice for when we're building, especially once we get some walls set up. We'll be able to use this to see through walls, just to see our own like wiring and pipes. So once we have some like cladding all over the walls and everything's kind of hidden behind cladding, we don't need to like rip that all off to figure out what's going on. We can just turn on our goggles, x-ray vision, and then work with the wires and stuff through the wall, or pull off the small segments of wall that we need to. So these are nice to have. I'm going to put this in my storage. It's going to replace the water bottle, which is going to live in there, or here, or whatever. And we're going to start with the... Probably not going to use the T-Rex one super frequently. Okay, so there we go. We're getting progress there. That's some big upgrades. We need a hard suit. Astroloy is just a little bit hotter with copper, steel, cobalt. Twice as much steel. Okay. So let's cook. Let's get that ready real quick. Copper, steel, cobalt. Are you even? What are you? Iron. Iron is not steel. Don't I have steel? Steel. 100. Too much. Split. What are you? 50? Better. Are any of you steel? Silver? Lead? No. Steel. Alright, so we need a little more cobalt. And a little more steel. Those are easy enough. Let's see. It's night now again. Let's use those fancy new goggles and go outside. Suit looks good. Gonna go ahead and grab the tool. Turn on the goggles. Save. We need cobalt and steel. I think we've already got the mats for steel. We might need a little bit of coal. And then purple is cobalt. Ooh, nerd goggles are good. Look at that. This is easier. We're strong now. Stronger. I don't know about strong. Definitely stronger. Gotta be careful too. If I remember right, the nodes run into the lava if you're not careful. So you can just go wee right to your death if you're not paying attention. Watch out for that. Alright, that's plenty of cobalt. I think we needed coal maybe. Steel maybe. Let's give you a bunch of iron and some coal. It's so much better. Oh, it's so much better, and we don't even have a hard suit yet. Minutes away from it, though. Very close. One last smelting to do, I think. Alright, so there's a full bag of stuff. Alright, here we are. Okay, I'm gonna craft that in just a second. I need to use the bathroom, and my dude's not happy. He desperately needs a shower, judging by the angry red thing in the top right. So I'm gonna go ahead and hang out here for a minute, run some ads real quick, use the bathroom, and then we'll finish crafting a hard suit. Alright, where were we? Doing some things and some stuff. Alright, eat and drink. Eat and drink, and the debuffs are all gone. Dude's looking good now. We need to do any sort of gas management, not particularly, but we can. Okay. What do we got? I was doing steel. And then we can cook some other stuff. So let's turn this on. Let's keep that off. Gonna throw in steel. That's gonna be 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. Alright, so that should do steel. We gotta let it melt and then increase the temperature a bit. Add some hot gas for a moment. Make sure it's cooking. Is there a better graph we can use? I don't like the hash one. The hash one's not really necessary at all for us. What do we got here? Graph display, hash display, gas display. I don't think it's going to be any of those. I'm looking for something that'll just give me like the count of regions. I want to see how much is in there, how much is smelted. That's pretty much it. None of those are jumping out as an obvious solution for that. Okay, maybe not. What's going on over here? Did all that shit melt? I think so. Let's go ahead and pump to empty. Turn on the activate switch. Get rid of all the cold air real quick. Then we can add some hot air. Good enough. There's that. Temp goes up. Steel comes out. Turn that off. Break it up. Alright, I think we only needed like 1. Plus that cobalt. Alright. So here's everything we needed for the new alloy astroloy. This is steel, copper, cobalt. Okay. High pressure, fairly high temp. This is a little bit higher than we can achieve. Hopefully just by adding the pressure, this might do it. But let's see, does cobalt put out any oxidizer? Nitrogen volatiles, no. Okay. Copper doesn't, right? Copper is just gonna make cold. Nitrogen, carbon dioxide, pollutant. Okay, so let's cook the copper first and make sure that that is not gonna add any cold to the system. I'm thinking we can just throw some gold through. Let's throw some gold through to add heat, and then we can go from there. Let's make a couple stacks of gold and call it good. But that's how we'll get the initial, or the additional heat that we need to craft this one. So first pump to vacuum. Turn off the activate switch. Drink some tea. Oh, I love tea. Oh, it tastes like sugar. Okay. Turn that off. Add some heat. Turn on the activate switch. Throw some gold through. That will go boom. Should raise the temp. Temp's going up a bit. Let's do a little bit of silver too. I had some silver to spare, right? Silver likes to make heat as well. Let's throw some of that through. Okay. That is a lot of heat. Silver is better. I'm going to save just in case. Turn off the activate switch. Throw these through. Okay, temp's way up. Wow, that silver added a huge amount of heat. Cool. I think silver is the ticket for making heat. Alright, that's all melting. I can see that teeny sliver of steel. That's the Q. I wish it was a little more visible. It's like perfectly blocked by this wall. Alright, we activate. We add hot air. Hopefully we're good on temp, but this might not do it. Oh, it's getting cold fast. Ooh. What are we looking for here? I forget. Hot. I remember. Hot and high pressure. 30 megapascals. We might not make it. Damn, it's gonna be close. Come on. Ooh, we got it. Nice. Turn that off. Remove the activate switch. Throw that through the splitter. And then let's turn everything off here. Alright, you go here. You are fancy ore goes here. And then we can start making hard stuff, hard suits. We want the hard suit. We want the hard suit jetpack and the hard suit helmet. It's taking a second. Helmet. So this guy's better. It has more filters. You can add a programmable chip, an IC chip, which can access itself and check to like see what's the temperature, what's the air composition, what's going on. You could like turn on the filters selectively and only run them when you need to preserve filters. You can open and close the helmet based on the conditions. You can, yeah, you can do a few things with that. I haven't done like any programming, I don't think, with the hard suit before. And then another thing we need, these guys. These guys are super good. I'm just gonna fill my inventory with these. These backpacks are just storage. So we're gonna start storing everything on our person. It's gonna make life a lot easier. Alright, that's the key things. Okay. Alright, let's get some storage. Make me a few of those. And then the jetpack here is not only going to be much better for jetpacking around, but it's also got a lot more space for storage than the one that we've been using. So this is nice upgrades. And I want to paint all this. What color should I be? I'm thinking I like blue or black maybe. I'm going to do black. Where did that go? There. How many of these are you going to make? A ton? I think that's pretty okay. We could pretty much spend all these resources on this stuff for now. Especially since we have spots to spare. Alright, I'm going to swap this out. Let's go into our room. Our breathable room so that we can take off our suit. Okay. And let's swap it. This guy goes there. So we will now wear this. And then this guy. Open these up. Move the tanks. Move the filters. Move the battery. Put that on. Okay, you can get opened. You can get opened as well. Just move everything over. You go on. Light goes off. Alright, there's our upgrade. And then we can throw these off into the abyss momentarily. Alright. Anything else to do in here? I don't think so. Cool. Big upgrade. I forgot it does limited vision with the little... I don't like these little knobs. That's kind of annoying. I feel like I'm inside of the mouth of a beaver with big teeth. It's getting ready to chomp. Make sense? Not really. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Alright, let's go into the garbage. How's this? We've got a shitload of these now. Good. Okay. All those tools go in there. Keep a couple belts. Okay, so now we have a bunch of... We're just going to hold these in our inventory. These are storage. So this is where we're going to store our everything now. And we're going to want to tweak them too. Let's tweak them as in just like color them. It can be useful to be color coded. So you can have an idea of what's holding what just based on color rather than just trying to like memorize locations. It's not great, but it's one of the only tools we have. So we'll take one white one is fine. We just do a black one. Do a blue one. Do an orange one. Do a red one. Yellow. Okay. Let's pick those up. And we could probably get a couple more of those. But this is where we're going to put our everything, basically. So I think white I usually do is like general construction stuff. As in like walls, floors, chutes, that sort of thing. We grab those. Walls, floors, chutes. Walls, floors, chutes, frames. I am the storage now. I am the storage now. We don't ever need to go back into base, ideally. We can just kind of keep everything we need on our person. So white is general construction. Black is general materials. So let's grab those. Okay. Any other materials? Not really. Can open up the white one again and throw this into here. Okay. I think I usually do the orange as air stuff. So we'll grab some air stuff, throw it in there. Okay. We'll do blue as water stuff. Water stuff goes there. What else we got? The red is usually electronics, which can also include wires and stuff. Okay, we can put general electronics in there, and we can fill these in more in the future. But just in general now, we'll start filling those up, and we'll just have everything on us at all times. That's what I was thinking. I want to put this in the tool guy. Okay, good. So now we can just start collecting resources. What did you need to make more of this? Steel and astraloy. We're out of both of those. Okay. I don't think we need to make more of those right now. That's good. Alright. Got some crafting. We now have a fancy suit. Much better hard suit. For going out and doing things and stuff. We're going to be much less of a... as we're insulated much better. So much less afraid of the sun. Might be able to go out during the day in mine without any trouble. What to build next? What do we want to do here? What do we want to do? Let's think about it while we eat some food. What to do? What to do? What to do? I'm thinking a couple things could be useful. One thing that could be useful is, I think cooling is one of our top priorities. We could get some big cooling systems going, then that would be nice. That's a fairly large project. Replacing solar panels could be good. Just beefing up the power a bit. If we start doing cooling, that takes a decent amount of power. I want to build an interesting cooler. There are chambers for like condensation, evaporation chambers, and condensation chambers. So you can use those as like items in the game that will do condensation and evaporation for you. I think I want to manually do it. I want to make rooms where I am physically condensing and evaporating the pollution for coolant. So that's going to be a big building project. Instead of being a couple items, it's like some large rooms that need to be able to handle high pressure. So they're going to need the reinforced windows for that to work, which is some advanced resources. It's also going to be more power thirsty than if we were to do it the other way. So in general, we're going to need more power. I'm thinking that might be an okay place to start. Let's beef up the power a little bit. Let's try and swap out the solar panels for the reinforced solar panels so that we can not worry about storms doing damage. And then we could extend the line of solar panels a little if we want to. Could also be good sometime to set up we want like, what do you call it? Windmills? We want to collect air as well. We want to collect wind. That could be useful. That will power us a little bit during storms and just like maybe provide a little bit of power at night. Although at night the air pressure is much lower and just like doesn't move as much, so it's not going to generate a ton of power there. That could be nice in addition to solar power. Alright, we eat, we drink, we poop, we fill air. The dude looks good, the temperature is good, the pressure is good, everything is good. But I'm thinking more power is one thing to do, cooling is one thing to do. I want to get automation for all of the resource handling. I would like to set it up so that after we're done mining and we come home, similar to how we have a little chute over there where we throw in materials we want to cook, we'll have a chute where we throw in our entire mining belt. And then it will unload it, pull all the resources out of them, sort it into different piles to already stack everything automatically, and then run it through a furnace to cook it. And then drop that all off at home and even sort it there if we want. But that's really nice for handling resources. You can just go mine, dump your bag, and then everything comes through already cooked and ready to go. That's extremely valuable, makes life easier, saves a lot of time. It's also pretty trivially easy to do. It's not super hard. It'll take a few minutes, but it's nothing complicated. And not even very like resource hungry. It takes a good amount of iron for chutes, and that's about it. But we can use the hot air that we're already collecting. And that's all we need to cook everything. All the basic resources, we're good to go. You add a little bit of the hot air here, and it's ready to run. So that's probably worth doing sooner than later. If only because it's a big time saver. That'd be nice to have. Alright, let's fill up the jetpack. And how are we on resources? Not amazing. Let's go mine some iron, maybe. Let's take this fancy new suit for a spin. Maybe see what's going on with the traders. How the traders doing? Anything interesting? Galactic gases, 7x7 with a runway? Nope. Can't do that. Adjust that. What do we got? Astronomics. I don't know what this one is. Let's bring them in and see. So good. I love tea. Alright, and what do we need here for the fancy solar panels? That is the solar panel heavy. We need astroloy. We need copper. I think we might even have those. Astroloy. Copper. Copper. Okay, cook some copper for me. give... And then we're going to need the reinforced glass, I think, which is what? This guy. Silicon and stellite. We have more stellite. There we go. Need some silicon. We have very little, but that'll do. Okay, copper's done. Let's throw this through. It's going to be too cold, so we're going to need to get rid of the bad gas. And then add some heat. There it is. You go off. You go here. Make me a bunch of that glass. Alright, and those take a few minutes to craft. It's still going. Alright, can we call this guy in maybe? Working on it. Wait, is that the right one? Star Sippers. Ooh. That's a different one than I expected, but one that I want more, I think. Can I do both at once? No. We got 20 minutes, so let's call this guy in and see what he's got. Maybe sell him something. And then Star Sippers, we might even want to just like... Well, it depends. We don't have money, I don't think, right? Yeah, we're pretty poor. We spend it all on water. But, this would be a good guy to bring in. Water is definitely, like, our scariest resource right now. And the one we have to trade for. So I would like to get some water. Alright, there's a few materials. Let's go out and check with the trader boy. See what he's got for us. And see, what's the temperature? Temperature is hot. How's our suit doing? It's still filling pretty fast. You can see it piling up. So not as insulated as I hoped, but still decent. Alright, this guy's got seeds. I don't want seeds. He wants to buy muffins, oxygen, water. No. We could sell him a couple planters and 4 pipe utility liquids. Okay. Pipe utility liquid. Need more iron. And at this point, we should pretty much never be emptying our machines anymore. We should only ever be, like, adding stuff to a machine. I'll see if I eat those words sooner than later. What do we got here? 2. This will be 3. And then 4's coming. Change the recipe. How are we doing? Crafting things very slowly. Works for me. After this, we wanted the planters. 2 of these, if I recall correctly. 1, 2. Put those up for trade. Sell to this guy. Send him off to space. That's not a ton of money, but that'll buy a few days of water. Okay, you go to space, go away, turn that back on again, bring back Star Sipper guy, turn that off again. Maybe grab a quick solar panel or 2. Alright, time for upgrades. Does it not just drag in? Come on. Saw 3. 1, 2, 3. And then a hand drill. 1, 2, And these are pretty much garbage. Let's throw them into space. We're never going to want to use these again. Just because they don't last, they die, right? That's the whole point of replacing them right now. Rotate that. 1, 2, 3. They are working correctly with the code we have. That's good to see. And then they need fancy glass, right? No, they just need... Oh, interesting. I didn't need this. So I need glass sheets and welding torch. Easy enough. I don't think I have enough glass sheets. Let's take a look. That's going to be the general stuff. We have enough, or one glass sheet short. Okay. Need more silicon for that. Don't have any silicon. Alright. Let's farm silicon. Pretty perfect timing. It's turning to night. I'm going to buy the water from this guy. Let's get as much as we can. Which is not that much. How much can I afford? 50? 40? Something like that. Turn this on. Okay. Can we sell you anything? Gas, food. Oh, this one we could actually do. That's not hard to do. That's pretty cheap. Might want to do that one. I'm going to leave you here for a bit. Turn that off. Check on our water. What are we up to? 175 liters. Good. It's nice to see that number go up. And that's with the backup of a lot of stuff in storage already, too. Got like 6 water bottles full, something like that. Just chilling. Good to see. Alright, that goes into general materials. This comes out. Need a welding torch. Finish that, finish that. Can't do the last one. Need to go farm some silicon. Alright, nerd goggles. Let's see it. Oh, and also, look how fast we are now. This suit is so much better. Very good. Yeah, I think this, with the new furnace, this session is pretty much just, like, upgrading everything. It's great upgrades. But not a lot of, like, new construction. Just improvements on all the existing stuff. Suit's way better, jetpack's way better. Gonna get the solar panels so that they don't break anymore. I'm not sure if they even provide any different amount of electricity. I think it's the exact same amount of electricity. But, without ever breaking. That's a big upgrade. And then, what else? I was just thinking something. I could upgrade airlocks, could be a fun thing to do. Could write some new airlock code. Maybe make an airlock today. I want to make my own custom airlock so that we can walk in the airlock, step on a pressure plate, and then have everything immediately, automatically open and close and whatnot. That's not very hard to do. And it can be a real time saver. If you use like big vents, then it could be like a 1 second time to go from to enter a new room. That's good. I had one more thing I want to do. What was it? Oh yeah, we need a beacon. A beacon's a good idea. Now that we're super zoomy and we can move around and we've got the X-ray vision to see stuff, we can kind of go on like long runs out into the middle of nowhere looking for resources. We're going to want a beacon to be able to see where home is. So if we just get disoriented or lost, if we travel far from home, we can use a beacon to find our way back. That would be a good thing to set up. For that too, we also want to make the better laptop. Or the better tablet. So those are some things we could do that are very quick to do. Alright, we got way more silicon than we need. Just grabbing some other stuff. Just hanging out while it's still night. Silver. Silver is heat. Heat is good. We're pretty much going to be making all the advanced alloys off of silver for a while until we can generate fuel. This is our heat source. So far, so good. Just gave me a beautiful hard suit. Alright, there's a full bag of stuff. Let's see. Alright, let's cook some silicon. How are we on battery power? Should be pretty good, I think. 3 notches, not amazing. Oh, that's another thing we could do. A better battery. Instead of the small battery, we could do a large battery. Just takes copper, silicon, stellite. So already out of stellite. That's okay. We can make more of those. And then copper and silicon. Alright, silicon. On. Active. We'll get it all melted and then bring the temperature up. Alright, it's all in there. All melted. Let's get rid of the gas. And add some heat. Hello, kitty. Oh, you biting my toes? Oh, you're so cute. I love you. Who's a good boy? Did you have enough window time? Did you have a good window time, my beautiful friend? I hope so. You look so cute every day. World's cutest kitty. Alright, can't do that without 2 stellite? Oh, come on. You got stellite in you? You do. I'm gonna do it. I'm doing the thing I said I'd never do again. I eat my words immediately, but only because we can turn that into batteries right away. That's useful. Want some batteries. Make batteries. This is gonna make 4 batteries. It's gonna make 2 batteries. Need some more steel and gold. We'll let that go. Alright. What was I doing? I was doing glass. We can just do all of this as glass. That's okay. We'll use it eventually, I'm sure. Alright, you come out. You go into the dish, which is going to take a welder. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it's identical. 420 watts for both of them. Blaze it. And then these just take damage. So that's the only difference, is that these are strong. Look how strong they are. You can tell because they're red. Alright. Now those batteries come in very, very slowly. I'm just gonna make the one. Then I saw we were almost out of gold, right? So let's cook a little bit of that. Could use some electrum. We're low on electrum. Let's do a quick electrum burn. We'll run the gold through. Okay, turn that off. 50-50 silver and gold for electrum. So this should make 200. And then what does electrum take? Electrum. Low-ish pressure. Temperature doesn't matter. We're going to have very high temperature in this, I think. We're just going to dump that into space, unfortunately. I think it makes sense to get the Electrum like ready to go and then use that heat to cook Stellite. It's probably the move. We could just run Stellite through right now if we had the stuff for it, but we do not. That's okay. All right, so let's see. We will do exhaust then and just get rid of that. Oops, you turn that off. Let's do the activate switch. Let's turn the output down. I'm going to turn the output to 2. So it's just a little slower. Should catch it on the way out as that's going down. And just leave that. Stellite's going to pop out. Alright, there's a battery. I wanted to do a better tablet. Give me an advanced tablet. Good. And then give me a beacon. Good. It'd also be good to get a weather station. With a weather station, it'll tell you when a storm is coming. So we could just like have an idea of when we want to leave the house, basically. Alright, you're looking for 2.4 and then it should work. There it is. Okay. Turn that back up to 10. Turn that off. Turn that off. Oops. Okay. Just load some materials in here. Should probably be loading this into my inventory with G instead of running back and forward and back and forward and back and forward and back and forward. Alright, there's the rest of the glass. We can add that to the generic storage. Here's our fancy new tablet. I don't like orange. Orange is gross. What about a nice blue? Okay, we're just going to replace our old tablet with the new one. This is it's the same thing. It's the same thing, but it's got 2 spots on it. You can see we do two cartridges and a programmable chip. I don't know what you do with the programmable chip. Is that new? Why would I care about a programmable chip in this guy? I wonder. And I don't know. Anyway. Let's make a beacon and then a tracking cartridge. Okay. Throw that inside of our fancy new tablet. Beacon go here. It's fine. Okay. Turn that on. Rename the beacon to home. Give it some power. Okay, and then I want to do better batteries. Let's see. What do we want to do for that? Probably don't want to delete this battery. That's going to cause trouble. We'll remove it in a minute, but let's add the second one first. We're going to need more of the frames here, and now, fortunately, we're starting to carry everything on us all the time. So that's going to make life easier. Let's extend this a little ways. Do some crafting. Oh, what's up, guy? Who's that big dancy lady? Wow. She's beautiful. She's RGB. I love RGB. She's not on my computer. Where's my welder? Where did I put my welder? How did I lose my welder? Excuse me, what the fuck? Where did I put my welder? What? Who saw? Is anyone paying attention? I'm not paying attention, apparently. Okay, I'm not seeing it in any of these. How did I lose my welder? That's not good. I used it last up here, right? To make this. I bet it's on a shelf or something. Let's go look at our shelves. Maybe the floor. Welder where? Ah. This is peak day. We should not be out in the day still. Still, I thought the hard suit would be enough, but we still should not be out in the day until we have a better cooling system. It's probably the idea. Okay, so that goes there. We're going to have a battery goes here. Like this, correct? And then what do you want? Sheets. What are you doing? What kind of community gaming? You said Sunday? My first instinct is yes, and also maybe no based on time of day. My sleep schedule is super fucked right now. I woke up at midnight, which is not correct. It's bad decisions, mostly. Alright, so we've got this battery now. We need more of the high-quality cable. Oh, you're doing Among Us! Among Us! Ooh, I've had that game uninstalled for so long. I might be willing to do that. That could be fun. That's the thing to do. I'm just curious who's playing. What's going on there? Alright, make all of those. We need to empty the waste tank and can eat and drink and stuff. So go into shelter. Do a little pooping. Let's see how much heat we collected. So just fucking around a little bit during the day. We raised the temp by like 5°C. That's not great. Gotta be careful with that. We'll run the AC to cool it off. Fill up the air. And let's check on some air too. How are we doing? Ooh. We're up to 52% carbon dioxide in here. In fact, we're running pretty low on air. If it wasn't for the fact that the pressure is so high, we wouldn't be able to breathe. And you can see the oxygen just plummeting. That's not great. We probably need to get a greenhouse going sooner than later. Maybe even before I have a good AC system. We need to start eating the CO2 we make. Soon we're not going to be able to breathe in this atmosphere. I think you need like, we're at 101 moles. I think you need at least 20 moles to breathe, but I'm not certain. I'm also not certain if that ratio gets low enough. Then it might be problematic. But I don't like to see that. That's not great. And then also we can take a look here. You see, what? There it is. Okay, so you see we can do, the tracker shows us our coordinates. It also shows us a nice little arrow to our home beacon. So if we ever get lost while we're out and about or blinded by a storm, this is going to make it way easier to get home. So this is going to be our savior if we make some mistakes and make it much less scary to go outside. Zoom around. Cake. Delicious. First one we do is around 6 p.m., the next one around 1 a.m. Ooh. I think I should be able to do one, if not both. Depending on when I go to bed. Thank you. That could be fun. I appreciate the offer. Alright, where are we? What's happening? We ate, we drank, we pooped. I'm getting a little nervous about the air in here. I'm tempted to start growing food. What next? I remember I was finishing the batteries. Making some cables. Got enough of those. Give me some big batteries. Gold and electrum. Got both of those. Gold, electrum, cables. Sun's going down, right? Sun's going down. Now's a good time to go out. Alright, power goes in. Power goes out. Okay. You on, you're on. You're on, right? You're just not charging because it's night. Okay, so I think this is good. It's just dead. But that's okay for now. Alright, so big battery. This holds way more power. We're going to swap out this one for a big one as well. And maybe add like one more. But it'd be nice if we had like, I don't know, 4 or 5 of these. Just a big deep well of power. So that when we're running whatever we want to do, we'll have a nice backup supply. That'd be good. And like if we want to do trading stuff, particularly if you want to do the large satellite, those things just drain batteries. You need to have a lot of batteries stored up, and you can't run it all the time or you're going to run out of power pretty quickly. That's pretty solvable. Pretty solvable problem there. Alright, what next? What next? We got a tracker. We got our battery upgrades going. This is good. We got our suit upgrade is good. Maybe a nice airlock could be fun. Could make an airlock real quick. That's a thing to do. I mean, that's already really easy. I can just leave that on and move in and out. But we could walk over here and go, have it go, ooh. Let's see. All right. Do I want to do an airlock? I'm going to do an airlock. Let's do an airlock. Airlock's going to be programming things. It's going to be an IC chip. Gonna need a housing. You can go outside right now too and add the big battery. Good. Goes in here. Need the welder and some sheets. Then a screwdriver. There it is. Turn that on. Okay, so our battery backup is now way bigger. We haven't replaced all of our solar panels yet, but 3 out of 5 are now permanently active without any sort of risk of damage. That's nice. Okay. Battery's running low-ish. We'll see how fast those charge during the day. Got our IC chip. Housing's coming. And we're going to need to program this thing. We're also going to probably want some different vents, I think. Thinking a bigger vent would be nice. What's the big vent? Give me a powered vent. Give me a couple of these, maybe. It's going to make 2 of them. That is perfect. Uh-oh. Ads. Damn. That's sad. These are some nice wubs. These are some gentle wubs. I'm liking these wubs. Alright, let's just do this one, I think. I'm gonna start here. Alright. How do we want to do this? Let's see. First off, we should adjust the wiring, I think. We want to make sure that each airlock is on its own circuit. We may even want to do one of the power supply area control boys. Just to be 100% sure that this airlock is never going to power down. It would suck if we couldn't get in and out of our base. Let's maybe throw one of these in. Need some iron. Okay, cook some iron real fast. Okay, there's that, all done. Good enough, just need a little. Kick. Kick. Alright, so we're not going to need a transformer. Let's put the transformer in here. We are going to need one of these bad boys. Can do it, where? Where do I want you to live? Right here, maybe? Is this okay? This is okay. Let's give it a transformer. Is this the right way? Is that in, out? Input, yes. Output, yes. Okay, that will work. That goes there. Wire comes out. That's gonna go, we'll do that for now. Just leave that for a moment, and then let's get this thing powered, turned on with a battery. Large battery should be okay, and then we can shut it. Probably shut this one as well. Just keep that on. Okay, so now this guy has got its own power off the main line. It's gonna make its own power circuit. Did I set up the T-Rex goggles? I did. Okay. So we want to adjust the power here. I'm gonna go... Let's see. How to do this. So this is the main line going over here. Okay, so we can just take this guy like this. Just run it along to connect over here. There it is. So this is still all powered the way it was. Okay. And that's going up to the satellite dish, which we want to keep connected. So we're going to need to adjust this slightly. I think I'm going to fix that in a bit. For now, we're just going to break trading. Oh, what just happened? Why are you moving? That scares me. Gonna break the trading. We're gonna get our own circuit going in here. Let me just kind of clean this area out to start. start with a blank slate. More or less. Okay. Those guys go there. Here's our new power system that we want to use. This one can go this way and through the wall. Okay, so here's our supply. We're just creating a different circuit. Every airlock you want on a different circuit so that they don't combat each other in any way. That's what we're looking to avoid here more than anything. So here is our circuit. Our power comes out. It's going to go this way and then come down into here. We can run it a little further. Maybe even through the corner if we want to. Does that work right? Okay, so we have power coming in here, going to our doors. These guys should have power now. There it is. That's on a different line. This does break the solar tracking. Run that line up right now. And then that's going to plug into this one. But I can't quite reach. We'll have to correct that later. It's unplugged very slightly. Okay. What else do we need? We'll have a programming housing. Needs to live somewhere. We'll need the big vents is the main thing. I want to do a big vent. Like this guy. So I want to remove this one. Okay. That can go into the gas section. Okay. Housing can live here. Where do I want to put you? That's okay. We can do this. Housing here. I was thinking I want a light. Give me a nice light. Give me a couple lights. I can turn off my nerd goggles. IC housing. IC will go there. Pressure pad go here. Okay, so we'll have a pressure pad. We'll have the IC housing. I should do the other version of the IC housing. My bad. Let's try that again real quick. There we go. Plug that in, give it power. Now that's all connected. Connected to there. We need a gas sensor. I'm happy to add you on Discord. No problem. I don't use Discord much, but I'll look out for that. At least in the next couple days. Alright. And then let's add a nice big light here. Could we do something like this? I don't think that's gonna... Let's do it right here is okay. Give me a nice purple. I like purple. Nice. Purple. That goes there. Let's see. What else? What else? What else? This goes into electronics. Electronics. This guy goes here. And then we need one going here, the other way. I don't like covering up the window. It's gross. It's so beautiful. I don't want to have the right in the window. I'm gonna do it, but I don't like it though. Alright, what do I have to do to finish this one? Screwdriver and pipe. Okay. Speaking of pipe, let's pull this pipe out. Replace it with an insulated pipe. Screwdriver and pipe. Craft. Plastic sheets and torch. Can that go through the corner here? It can. Good. Okay, so that goes that way. This goes right where it was. Right, that goes up. Yep. Okay, good. Need a passive vent. I don't think we have any passive vents. Passive vent. Give me one of those. Do you need to be insulated passive vent? I don't think so, but it couldn't hurt. Let's do an insulated passive vent just in case. If I do it there, is that going to go half in this room, half in the other room? Likely. Let's do it more like here. I think I can route it to there without a problem. Yeah, can I go through here? Yeah, okay. So right now this isn't... there's nothing in this room. It's just a big vacuum. But I want to get this all set up to be a generic airlock that'll work for... it'll work fine for the current conditions, and then as soon as we have atmosphere in here, it's going to work without us having to think about it or do anything is the idea. That's what I'm looking for. I need some plastic sheets. I think I saw some there. There it is. Finish that. Finish that. Direction is outward always. This goes back. This goes here. These need to be labeled and plugged in. Grab a wire cutter, grab some cables, plug it in, turn this on. Fuck yeah, dude, purple. Purple light. Looking good with the purple light. Okay, that goes there, that goes there. I forgot, we need a gas sensor. Gas. Nope, sensor. Ooh, look at that purple. We're raving. Big purple energy. Ooh, purple. Big fan of purple. Can we get some cladding, maybe? Cladding is neat. Make me a shitload of cladding. We're gonna use it all someday. Okay. Do a gas sensor. Do it here is okay. That can go in electronics. Okay, so we have our gas sensor, we've got our 2 vents, we've got our pressure pad, we've got our 2 doors. Here's some cladding. And then let's do... I'm thinking black will look good with the purple. Let's give it some black coloring here. And then just one more thing. Let's make sure this is wired in before we start. Actually, it doesn't matter. Let's do this. Okay, got that there. Got that there. Get that there. Nice. Just a little smoother. Looks kind of nice. This should be general construction stuff. Throw it in here. I'll make one of these blue. Let's see. Blue? Ooh, blue's fun. Ooh, we got some blue and some black. I'm just throwing out all sorts of colors. You get to be purple. Sure, dude, fuck it. Big purple energy. We're just throwing out colors. I'm like the world's shittiest Bob Ross. Wow. It honestly is pretty nice if you make the base look a little better. Even something as simple as this, like every time you're entering and exiting your base, it'll feel a little bit nicer. You can look at this and throw up at all the rainbows or something. And I didn't realize this hides the IC, which is cool. But we're going to need to play with the IC, get this configured before that finishes. So I will take this back. Alright, this is all the pieces of the puzzle, I think. We need some programming and we need some labels. Let's grab our label gun and label. We've got our exterior door. We've got our interior door. We've got our interior vent. We've got our exterior vent. We've got our gas sensors fine. Pressure plates fine. I think that's everything. We don't need a lot here. Okay. Are you on? Yes. Turn it off. Alright. Programming? Programming. I want to change the color of this guy too. How about blue? I like blue. You're blue now. Well done. Excellent blue. Where is the IC chip? I had an IC chip on me. Did I throw it somewhere? I keep losing things. I am 150% sure there was an IC chip. It went somewhere. Oh, it's in the thing. Yes. Okay. Alright, programming. Here we go. I'm going to throw this in. We're going to edit. We're going to pause. We're going to take a look at this. And close this guy. This is too much. Let's load something simpler and then go from there. What's the filtration? This one's simpler. Let's start with this guy. Alright. I'm going to delete all the code, more or less. We're going to go down to the very basics here. We've got our... This is wrong. Ignore that. We've just got a main loop, and we're going to load variables. Alright, so what are we doing here? How does this even work? What are we going to do? I haven't thought about this in forever. Got to think about it. This is fun. I haven't played this game in so long that I can't remember how I've solved these problems at all. I have to resolve them. Which is, I mean, that's fun. That's part of the game, right? That's the experience. So first off, let's define our inputs. We're going to have our V, or our D is for device. Interior door is going to be D0. Alias D exterior door is D1. Alias D interior vent is D2. Alias D exterior vent is D3. Alias D sensor D4. Alias D should be D gas sensor D4. Alias D pressure pad is D5. So here's all our variables. We've got our interior door, exterior door, interior vent, exterior vent, gas sensor, pressure pad on all the different variables. This is 6. Is this all 6 inputs, I think? I can't remember. 6 or 8. Anyway, we're good on inputs. This should work. Let's see. So what's the plan here? The plan is when we see the plate switch from a 0 to a 1, then we want to close the doors and we want to invert, or we want to pump to vacuum. Basically, we want to invert the doors and invert the vents. So we want to close the doors, turn on one of the vents to make sure it goes back in the correct direction. And then we want to open the other door. That's going to be the general goal, something like that. So I think for that, we're going to want to have some basically like stages for what we're doing. We're going to want to have different modes that it could be in. We could have it in like an idle mode. We could have it in an emptying mode, more or less. So let's see. We'll call it stage idle. Be 0. Define stage emptying as 1. Something like that. And we might need like a stage complete. Yeah. Okay. So this seems good. And then what else? So we've got some hard-coded values here for our stages. We've got all our inputs. We're going to need variables. What variables are we going to have? Alias the pressure is going to be R15, the last register. Alias the, let's see, we're going to have pressure plate is press, or pressure pad is pressed. It's a lot of letters. Maybe pressure pad is down. Pressure pad is pressed is pretty okay. It's just a bit of a mouthful, but it logically makes sense. Okay. I think that's pretty much it. What else are we going to need to do? I remember that the vents have an issue. When you're programmatically controlling them like this, it will just like not work. You need to tell it to have like a maximum pressure that it will work at. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. What do we need for vents? The vents here have, let's look at the API for what variables we have. We've got the, not pressure output, pressure external. Those actually might be it. They're read-write, not just read. Pressure outputs read. So the pressure external might be it, since it's write as well. What else do we even have for write? We have pressure external, and we have mode, and then on, and lock. Okay. So pressure external is what I was thinking of. Let's use this one. So to start off, we're going to move or set D interior vent pressure external. This is like the max pressure it's allowed to do as it's pumping air. So we don't care. We're never going to be shoving this into an environment where the pressure is going to be a problem. We don't want to have a max pressure here. Other than that, I guess we don't want to like burst our pipes, but that's never going to happen. So I'll say 39,000 right at the limit where the pipes would start to sing, and we should expect that this will never hit. But if we don't do this, then the pressure external is 0, if I recall correctly. So you'll turn on the vent and nothing will happen because it doesn't want to push any air past the hard-coded pressure external, if that makes sense. So let's start by just setting these to some reasonable value. Okay, and then we also might want to lock them. We don't want to ever manually push the button. We're no longer going to use the airlock by like pushing a button. You just walk in, you step on the pad, and then it works. If you're ever like locked out, you can reach through the wall and just like throw something on the pressure pad, and that'll be enough that it opens up, if that makes sense. So that'll work just fine for us. We're going to say lock. It's going to be 1. And then we'll do the same thing for the exterior vent. Okay, so to start off, basically before anything even happens, we're going to set the maximum pressures, and then we're going to lock the doors so that they're no longer under user control, and we can't accidentally like fuck it up and open both doors at the same time. It's all going to be controlled programmatically, and then we'll see if we run into troubles. All right. And then, oh, I forgot. We're also going to want a vstage. So alias vstage is going to be R13. And then this should default to 0, I think. But let's just hard code it, or yeah, start off by setting it manually. So the first stage is going to be stage idle. So we'll move vstage, stage idle. Okay, so we're in stage idle. Now we want to, what do we want to do? Now we want to branch based on the stage we're in. We're going to want to have a couple functions here. Let's see. I guess first off we could load some stuff. We need to load the pressure, and we need to load pressure pad is pressed. So we can start with that. We'll say load the pressure pad is pressed is going to be d pressure pad on, I think? Maybe not. Let's look at pressure pad. What's that? It's plate, I think. Something plate. Trigger plate. Oh, I didn't know you could do different sizes, too. That's neat. I think that might be new. What do we got here? We got setting. I guess it's setting. Setting. So this will be a 0 when it's not pressed. It'll be a 1 when it's pressed. So now we are tracking whether this is pressed or not. Not doing anything with it currently. And then we'll do the same thing with the pressure. The pressure is going to be the gas sensor pressure. And that will collect those two variables, which is pretty much all we need to make this work. Okay, and then we're going to have a couple stages. So we will have stage, maybe like stage idle. It's going to be 1. We'll have stage emptying is going to be 1. And then we'll have stage complete. I don't even know if we need that. It's going to be another 1. So we'll set up some empty functions there. So we need to check what stage we're on and then jump to the appropriate line based on that, I believe. Let's take a look at that. What's that going to look like? We need to like branch based on what we're doing. And actually, this should jump back to main, I think. Okay. So we will say branch if eq v stage is equal to stage empty. Branch to stage idle. Or stage idle. And then we'll do the same for all the stages. BQ, V, stage, stage. Emptying, stage, empty. Ing. BQ, V, stage, stage, complete, stage, complete. Okay, so our main loop here, first thing it's going to do is it's going to load variables every time. It's going to just get the pressure and the setting on whether or not the pressure pad is pressed. And then after it's loaded that, it's going to branch here. We'll branch based on the current stage. So if we are in stage idle, then go ahead and jump to the stage idle loop, which will be right here, which is going to do whatever we do in stage idle. And then when that's done, it's going to jump back to main and keep going. Same thing for all the stages. If we're in stage emptying, it's going to go to stage emptying. If we're in stage complete, it's going to go to stage complete. So this way we can kind of break the function into a couple chunks, or break the program into a few chunks, a few functions, and do whatever we need to do in each stage. So what's the idle stage doing? The idle stage is when we are, everything's normal, nothing is happening. Like right now, we're just chilling and waiting for someone to step on the pad. So we will say if the, let's see, V pressure pad is pressed, okay. So branch if EQZ. The pressure pad is pressed. Main. Okay, so for the idle stage, the first thing is jump to main until pad is pressed. If the pressure pad is equal to 0, V pressure pad is pressed is equal to 0, then we're going to go to main. So first thing we're going to do, we're just going to stay, or we're not going to keep going. It'll just go straight to main until we have the pressure pad is pressed. When the pressure pad is pressed, then we want to change the stage. So we'll say, at this point, at line 35, the pressure pad is pressed. Someone's standing on the pressure pad. We're in stage idle. It's time to start emptying. So we're going to say move V stage is going to be the next stage, which is stage emptying. So we're going to change the stage and say, all right, now the next time we enter the loop, we're going to do something different. We're going into the emptying stage. And then we're going to drink some tea. What up, Zero Bias? How you doing, dude? You want to learn some programming? Do you want some deep fucking nerd knowledge? I hope so. Because that's what we're doing. We're doing something completely different than shooting faces. Don't forget to eat food. Ninja, you are so smart. I should eat food. My salad is getting soggy and gross. And if I take a bite, then I can't talk for like 2 minutes. So I'm going to forget to eat food for a minute. Co-routines, maybe? I don't know. I haven't heard that term before. I'm not sure. I think of these as functions, but I'm not an assembly code dude. There might be, code routines might be an assembly code term. Feel free to teach me things. I don't mind backseat gaming, by the way. If any of you guys want to shout something out, shout something out. I'm happy to hear it. Anyway, what are we doing? So stage idle, we loop until we have the pressure pad pressed, and then we need to move to stage emptying. And along with that, we need to decide what are we going to, like what vent are we going to turn on, and what door are we going to open. So let's add a couple more variables. So we're going to have V door to open. Could be R12. And I don't know about the vent. Yeah, let's do vent to run. Vent to turn on or something. Alias V vent to turn on. It's R11. Okay, so now we need to decide what we want to do for what door to open and what vent to turn on at the end of this, basically. We need to decide which direction it's going. Interior or exterior. So we might want to keep track of which door is open as well as part of loading vars. Okay, let's keep track of those two. We'll say alias V interior door is open. R10 alias V exterior door is open. R9. Let's load those. Load V exterior door is open. Is going to be D exterior door open, I think. Same thing for interior. Interior. Okay. So we're keeping track of both of these and seeing which one is open. So back to our idle stage. Now we need to compute what door to open, what vent to turn on. All right. computer, what door slash vent to turn on? It's to open and turn on. What door? Here we go. What door to open and vent to turn on? Something like that. Okay. So let's just say we're gonna start with we'll say door to open. We're gonna hard code it. The door to open is going to be the interior door, which is D interior door. Okay. And we're going to say if the interior door is the one that we're opening, then that means that we're coming from the outside and we need to run the exterior vent to push all the air to the outside. So the vent to turn on is going to be D exterior vent. Okay. So we're going to start by just hard coding this. So this is if we're moving from exterior to interior, which would mean the exterior door is open and the interior door is closed. So let's do a quick check. And we will say default to opening interior and emptying to exterior. I'm going to delete this. Okay, so now we want to have a branch here and say, let's see. So this is if the exterior was open. So if the interior door was open, and if we're doing interior to exterior, which is the opposite, then we want to invert these. So if the interior door is open, then we want to flip it. If interior door is open, invert variables. So if the interior door is 0, then we want to go to main. If the interior, so if branch if equal to 0, interior door, if the interior door is closed, then this is what we're looking to do. This is right. So we're going to stop right here, and we're just going to jump to main and keep looping. Otherwise, if the interior door is not equal to open, and that's the one we want to open. God, this branch fucks with me. It fucks me so bad. Give me just a second. I have to remember how to assembly. So for sure, we're going to do this. But we're going to flip these. Okay. So we're going to flip these. And then I think this conditional might be wrong. I need to be 100% sure on it. We got to think about it. We could fuck up too and then just tweak it. Do you have push pop 2? I asked about coroutines because of yield. Yes, so this is just push pop works. There is the stack. This is just a straight up MIPS editor that they've embedded into their game. So pretty much all, or a lot of assembly, I don't know about all of it, but pretty much everything you get in MIPS is available to you. You can do a lot with it, including push and pop. And the stack can be really useful for a lot of stuff. You can also like remote control the stack from other devices. You can like contact an IC chip and shove stuff into its stack. So you could have like an IC chip that handles the furnace and cooking stuff, and then you could shove in a bunch of parameters for like what temperature and pressure requirement you need for a recipe, and then it'll like handle all that for you, stuff like that. So that's pretty fun. Yeah, so if the interior door is closed and we're looking to open it, then this is the correct one. So we will jump to main. I think this logic is correct. Otherwise, we're going to invert these. I think this is right. And we can just test it and tweak it if we need to, if it doesn't work. But I think this is correct. Just walking through this mentally, I think this is correct. And I'm going to be amazed if this works first time. Something's going to go wrong, but that's okay. We'll get 90% of the way and then fix a line or two. Okay, so I think this is good. Our stage idle is going to jump to main until the main pad is pressed. So we'll check that variable and then just keep going to main until we're ready to move on to the next stage. Otherwise, we'll say, all right, we're going to change the stage emptying. We're going to set our variables for door to open, vent to turn on, and then we'll be good to go from there. So this should compute what door, what vent, and we need to turn it on and empty. Okay, so now we are moving into stage emptying, and ads are going to start here. I need to run ads. I'm going to use the bathroom 1 second. I'll be back momentarily. Have an advertisement. Food is good. I like food. All right, where were we? Let's see. Maybe a little bit more to do here. We want to close both of the doors when this is going. So we will say set D door interior door open 0. Set D exterior door open 0. Okay. So we're gonna set the stage, close the doors, decide what vents and doors we want to play with in the future, and then we'll keep moving, and we're gonna keep looping after that. Now we enter stage emptying. So stage emptying, what are we gonna do? For stage emptying, we're going to want to set the vent to turn on. Oh, vvent to turn on. Interesting. Yeah, it's vvent, but it's pointing to a devent. That's a little tricky, but it's a variable. Anyway, vvent to turn on. This is going to be on 1. So we're going to set it to 1. That's going to start getting rid of the air. And then we want to do that until the pressure is 0. So branch not equal to 0. The pressure. It's going to go to main. So it's going to branch, it's going to go to main until the pressure hits 0. So when we're in stage emptying, we turn on the vent. We wait until the pressure hits 0. And then we move along. One more thing we want to do here. I'm not sure if we need to sleep for like 1 second to wait for the door to actually close. That might be a good idea. Let's sleep for 1 second while the door closes. And then we won't turn on the vent early. Actually, I don't care. Who cares? Doesn't matter. We don't need to do that. It'll just start pumping early and maybe be inefficient for like 1 whole second, but actually still make things go faster. Okay, so we turn on the vent. We branch until the pressure is 0. When the pressure is 0, we are in stage complete. So at that point, we move V stage goes to stage complete. And then we also want to turn the vent off. Goes to 0. Okay. And then we're going to say V door to open. Open goes to 1. So we're going to, when we're emptying, we're going to turn the vent on. We're going to wait until the pressure is 0. When the pressure hits 0, we set the stage to stage complete. We turn off the vent and we open the door to open. So at this point, we're pretty much done, but we're still just standing on the pressure pad. And we're in the stage complete. Okay. Good. Stage complete. It's going to sit here until the pressure pad gets released. And then we're going to go into the idle stage again. So BR not equal to Z. The pressure pad is pressed. Main. So we're going to loop to main until the pressure pad is 0. And then when the pressure pad is 0, we're going to want to change the stage, move the stage into stage idle. This is going to be our airlock. Okay, and now let's see if I was lucky enough to one-shot this, or if it's going to fail immediately. We put this guy in here, give it some power. It's going to give us an error and provide IntelliSense, which will allow us to plug this in. So what do we got? We got our interior door is our interior door, exterior door, exterior door. Interior vent is interior vent is in. Did I not plug you in? No, I didn't plug you in. Where's my nerd goggles? Give me some nerd goggles. Did I not plug you in because I'm out of cable? Is that what that was? Did I put the cable in here? Okay. Alright. Gotta get this one plugged in too. Alright, there we go. Where was I? Interior vent. Okay. Interior vent. There we go. Exterior vent. Exterior vent. Gas sensor. Gas sensor. Pressure pad. Looks like we have exactly the right amount of variables too. Trigger plate small. Okay. So theoretically, this is it. I'm going to save, and then we're going to see if it works or not and why. So I turn you... First I'll save, I guess, before we do anything. I will save. I'll turn that on. Nothing should happen. No errors in the code is a good start. So I should walk in. It should close both the doors. It should turn on this fan for like a single tick until it's a vacuum in there, which will be immediate. And then it should turn off that fan and open this door. Door shuts. Fan turns on. Error. Incorrect variable, line 43. Okay. I'm going to load real quick. Yeah, I'm going to load real quick. And then we'll look at line 43. Damn, didn't one-shot it. I had a very, very, very small amount of confidence. I was feeling myself too much. Line 43. What do you got for me? Pause. Line 43 says... Move door to open D exterior door. Okay. So we can't do this like I was hoping. I was hoping we could store a device inside of here. But it looks like no. trying to think of how to fix this. I think we could use a hash instead. And then that would actually work. Interesting. Okay. Let's swap this out for hashes. Okay. So we're going to change it to hashes. And that should allow us to do everything we want to do. So for that, we're going to need to set based on the hash. Let's see, can we do that? Give me the S commands. No, not that. I want to set by hash. Do I have to specify the device too? Do I have to specify that it is the fancy door? I think I'd have to do that. Where's my set? S. S. Oh no, we can just do SB. Device hash? No. We need SBN, set by name. Device hash, name hash. Okay, so we do need the device hash. The device hash is going to be the device hash for a door, which will be define door is going to be hash of a door. What's the door? Which door? Composite door. Structure, composite door. Okay. And then we're going to need the vent too. Okay. So that's the powered vent. Which is the powered vent we're using. I can use these for all the airlocks and that should be okay. Structure, powered vent. Okay. So we've got our door, we've got our vent, and then we're not going to have a vent or a door or any of this jazz. It's like just the gas sensor and the pressure pad are going to be the only things that aren't handled by a hash. Okay. So then we're going to set by name, vent, interior vent. I think I did that wrong. Oh, these are all the same? Oh, no, we're good. Okay. Okay. So we're just going to change the way we're accessing them. Instead of having it as like a wired variable, we can use the hash, and then that allows us to store it in a variable so that we can use it exactly the way I wanted to. Just with this slight amount of code, and this is kind of, I feel like it's offering the chance to make some mistakes, easy typos, but we're going to roll with it. Let's go ahead and get that done. Okay. So those change. This changes to interior door is going to be set by name, door, hash, interior door. This one's going to be exterior door, exterior door. Okay, hash, blah, 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 blah. Okay, our loading is wrong. Our loading is now load by name with a door. Oops. How does load by name work? Okay, load by name into this guy, and then that's going to be the door, and then the hash for exterior door. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So now these are pulled by the hash. This is going to be set by name now. Or set, yeah, set by name with the event. And then this is already the correct hash, so that'll work. This is going to be set by name again, vent hash. This is going to be set by name, door to open. Okay. Any other code we need to change here? Do a quick run through. Nothing jumping out at me immediately. Okay, I think this might be it. This might be all we need. Except this is wrong. Load by name. Oh, and then this needs a 0. I forget. Okay, so it didn't work. We can't store one of the D variables in a variable and then use that. But we can use a hash and then do the SBN command to control that. And then we can have the logic we want. This might work. Attempt 2. Just go ahead and confirm that. Export, grab, close. This goes here. This breaks immediately. This needs to be rewired so that the gas sensor is the gas sensor and the pressure plate is the pressure plate, and then these guys don't matter at all anymore. Those are all gone. Okay. I save. Attempt 2. And does it work? Let's find out. No errors is good. Door shuts is good. No vents, no errors. Shit, fuck. Cock, balls, shit. Lock didn't work either. Alright, that doesn't seem like it works. What you doing? What you thinking? I don't know. Let's take a look. I'm gonna reload. Let's add a little bit of debugging logic. Let's add an LED that'll just show us what stage we're currently in, so that we can get an idea of like where it's getting stuck, what's happening exactly. Let's see. So for that, we're gonna need an LED. These things can be really tricky to debug. I think this is just a console is what we're looking for an LED. Okay. Right, does that work? LED display small. Alright, where can I put that? Where's a good spot? This is gross, but it'll do. Turn on my nerd goggles for a second. That goes there, that turns on. Okay. So we've got an LED now connected to this system. And then we will program that. So it looks like we're making some progress. It at least like closed the door. I'm not sure if any of the vents turned on. Ooh, in fact, it could be interesting to try and like invert it and see what happens if we go from the exterior to the interior. That seems like a good idea. Let's do that real quick and just see if I can figure anything out from that. I'm gonna save, I'm gonna close this guy. There's atmosphere in here? Oh, yes. From using the, what do you call it? From using the spray paints, it puts out a teeny bit of pollutant. That's what that is. Alright, I'm gonna open you. Okay, I'm just gonna... No, I'm not gonna save. We just did that. So we turn that on. We step in. The door shuts. That turns on correctly. That does not, which is good. We're now to 0 pressure, and it's not turning off. Okay, so that alone is enough to get an idea. It looks like it's not branching correctly when we hit 0 pressure. Might not need an LED yet. Let's see if we can look at the code and get that fixed. Pause. So, I mean, that's pretty good to see. This was all working pretty well. We got to stage emptying, and it turned on the vent as we're looking for. Branch if not equal to Z. So if the pressure is not 0, then we go to main. Let's say branch greater than 0, maybe. If the pressure is greater than 0, then we go to main. Otherwise, we go to stage complete. We turn off the vent, which should work, because we saw this working. And we open the door we want. Okay, so I think right here we weren't reaching line 52, basically. That's what was going on there. Let's double check too. Are all the stages good? 0, 1, 2. Yes, that seems okay. Okay, maybe this will do it. I don't think so, but it's worth a shot. Let's see if that helps. I'm going to throw that in there. We'll do a save. Turn it on. Step in. That shuts. That turns on. And again, we are not... Oh, okay. No, so I think I see what's happening. It looks like it's working, and it is working. Pressure's not 0. Remember I was mentioning we have to set like a maximum pressure it's allowed to pump to? It looks like the external safety is set to 39 megapascals. But it's not, there's some one of those, the variable's not set correctly, where it's not actually pushing any air. Okay. I need to take another look at that item and see what variable we need to play with to make sure that it's going to pump. Okay, cool. So it might be actually correct, and then we just didn't hard code that one variable correctly, is all that's going on. Let's take a quick look. Pause. Did I set this right for the initial hard coding? Pressure external got set correctly. So let's take a look at the powered vent again. What do you got for variables? What do we even have for right? Mode is going to be in or out, so we should never need to do that. Pressure external is the one I used. We could see that setting, but it wasn't doing anything for us. Lock and on. Maybe something to do with mode? I wonder if it's like changing the direction it's setting. Currently locked, so I'm not allowed to do it. Set outward. I think the mode is wrong. It's pulling in is what's going on, I think. So our mode is wrong. Let me take a look. Where's our networking guy? Give me the... One of these things will show me the various stats that are going on here. That is the config. Let's throw that in our iPad. Tracker cartridge can live in there. We have room in here? Yeah, can live there. Okay. So let's take a look. If I look at you, your mode is 1, so that's the mode we want. What is your mode? Your mode is 1. Okay, so that's correct, I believe. We got the hashes, bunch of stuff and things, pressure output, pressure external. Hmm. Okay, so it is going the correct direction. What's going on here? Why isn't this pumping? It's turning on correctly and then just not moving air. Is it lock? Does lock have something to do with it? How are you even locked? I was supposed to lock the doors. I was not supposed to lock the vents. Whoops. Let's make sure those are not locked. I don't know. Lock seems pretty okay. That just prevents user error, I would think. I don't think that's gonna like stop it from working. I do want to lock doors. Let's do that real quick. Door, interior door. Exterior door. Should be 1. 1. 1. 1. Alright, this shouldn't matter at all. I'm going to set this to 0 just in case, just for some debugging. We're going to export that. I'm going to save. Let's throw that in and see what happens. I expect the exact same thing, but maybe not. Okay, you get turned on. I walk in. Door shuts. You turn on. Flow rate is very limited. Pressure close to external target. Not at all. The external safety is set to 39 megapascals. And our pressure in the pipe is not even a pascal. What is the variable for like max pressure? Let me Google it real quick while we're loading. Let's see if Google knows. All right, ChatGPT, can you teach me things? Volume ratio? You just made that up, you fuck. Thinking longer for a better answer. Come on, AI. AI, write this code for me. We're vibe coding now. You're right, I made that up. Oh my god. And then it wrote me an essay. TLDR. Not helping. ChatGPT is not smart enough. Let's Google it. Stationeers, exterior, or stationeers, powered vent. IC pressure. What you got for me? That doesn't seem right. I think it's something to do with this. Pressure external value is set to 100 kilopascals when the circuit board is used. This is the reason why the airlock is unable to pressurize the atmosphere surrounding the active vent. Pressure external and pressure internal. Okay, yes. Is there, why didn't I see that here? Where's pressure internal? I see pressure external, and I think that's what we're playing with. Ooh, is the API here missing something? We might have found a bug in the game. So I think what it is we're pressure external is if it's like pulling it into this room, then that's the variable that we've just set. So it's not pressure external, it's pressure internal, which is a variable, but does not appear in the API. I think that's a bug. This should be in this. This should be pressure internal in here, and it only has external. That's like the first bug I found in this game. Interesting. Okay. Huh. That's a weird one. All right. I'm feeling more confident about that. That seems right. Let's see what happens now. Export. You. Here. You. On. Bugs. Immediately bugs. Incorrect logic, line 17. Edit. Pause. Line 17. Doesn't like pressure internal. Well, fuck me, dude. Oh, really? Maybe it has something to do with the vent I'm using. Maybe if we use a normal active vent instead of the powered vent. Let's take a look. We're very close here. It's just this one thing that's a little off. It just isn't allowing itself to push air because it thinks it's at the limit. This might be a bug. This feels like a bug in the game. I've written this before and seen it work. I remember you had to set one specific value for this exact issue where it just like wouldn't run the vent unless you told it what power or what pressure it's allowed to do. It looks like they might have like accidentally deleted the pressure internal from their powered vents. But I'm not confident in that, and blaming the game feels pretty wrong here. It's more likely that it's a user error and I'm just making a mistake somewhere. What are you even called? Structure powered vent. This is exactly the bug I'm running into. I just noticed the powered vent's large and normal and missing pressure internal logic. Pressure external is present. Is this a bug or a feature? This is by design. It's a feature of the small active vents. What? Use a pipe analyzer and enough volume on the pipe network to prevent overfilling. Uh, No. They're describing it as if there was no limit and you have you have to make sure that you don't blow up pipes. But we're seeing the opposite, that it's limited at 0 and we can't do anything with it. Huh. I think that's like that feels wrong. There either needs to be a way to do this, or they might have broken manual airlocks like this. I can see that being a problem anytime you want to use IC chips to grab air. Weird. Then again, now that I think about it, we already used this exact vent on the outside to do uh, grabbing the air from just the atmosphere and shoving it into the tanks for the hot tank and the cold tank. So I've already seen these vents work programmatically. I'm not sure why it doesn't want to work here. This is odd. Anyone know? Anyone smarter than me? No, you're just gonna watch me flail wildly? You're just gonna laugh at my pain? That's fair. I would do the same. Alright, so pressure internal isn't a thing. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of the lock too, maybe. Okay, I'm gonna confirm. Export, call that good. Can I do a... Can I just like pull... What if I reconstruct it? I think these have funny variables now in them perhaps. What if I pull you apart and rebuild you? And then don't change anything. All I do is turn you on exactly like the vents I have out there. Maybe. Maybe. Struggle, struggle. We'll see if this works, then I'll do the other one. So I'll just pull this off, and we'll put it right back. Screwdriver pipe. Welding torch. Sheets. Turn that to internal. And I need to name you. You are the internal vent. Okay. So maybe it had something to do with the fact that we were locking it and changing the pressure external. Maybe that was messing with it somehow. Could be. Not very confident in that, but let's see what happens. I'm going to save this. We're going to turn it on. Do you work? That went there. Nothing happened here. Internal vent, external safety, 0 PA, flow rate 0. Maybe. No, it didn't, because we still have air in this room, right? So this didn't get turned on. Not only did it not get turned on, or no, exactly, it just didn't get turned on. Did I name it wrong? Internal vent. We got exterior vent, internal vent. Yeah, internal vent's wrong. That's what it is. Whoops. I'm trapped now. Interior vent. I named it wrong. It's temperamental. Gotta name it with the same label you're using to play with it. Not surprising. Alright. You get changed to interior vent. Okay. That might work. We save. Alright, what about now? Oh, I gotta turn it on. What about now? Shuts, on, empty, open. Nothing happening. Okay. Weird. So that's it. That's good. That means this one's still going to be broken too. So we need to do one last save scum and rebuild that one too. That was it. Something about setting the exterior and locking it got it in a state where the interior value got fucked up. The interior pressure maximum was at 0, even though that's not even supposed to be a variable anymore. And then it was just causing bugs after that. That's a weird one. Okay. And kind of has to do with changes in the games. Alright, well, I think we've got it figured out then. Let's rebuild this, and then it should be working, I think. Unless it's not. Wrench. Drill. Alright, and then you go right back where you were, except you don't want to, because there is cladding in the way. Angle grinder. You go, bleh. This is some tricky bullshit. That feels like bugs. I think that is a bug. Something to do with that patch. Dice, please, fix your shit. Rotate. 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 There it is. Okay. So I think this should work. I am 80% sure this would work, which is pretty confident. I'm feeling pretty confident about this. But not 100%. Not until it works. That goes there. Direction goes interior. Needs to be renamed. Whoa. Whoa, that's definitely a bug. It just deleted my plastic. Oh no, the plastic was gone already. I think I just grabbed a stack of zeros, what that was. Okay, that was another, that was a bug. That was a weird one. Alright, we got our interior vent, we got our exterior vent. And hopefully, that's the end of it. Let's see, I'm gonna save. And we're gonna step this, turn it on, step this way. That turns on, this opens, okay, all good. Now we should be in the stage of idling again. I step in. Damn. I was wrong. Alright, we're getting closer. Are we not entering the completed stage? This turns off and the door opened. So that's definitely progress. But it's still not working. I was too confident. That's the problem. 80% was too high and the universe needed to beat me down a little. Sorry, I was debugging a mod. What's the issue you're having? A variable that doesn't exist? Are you a dev? Did you make this game? The issue I was having is, so I set the exterior pressure, the pressure exterior, and I locked this. And when I did that, it set it so that the interior pressure, the max interior pressure, was at 0, even though that's no longer a variable. So when this turned on, just nothing happened. It wasn't pushing any air when it should have been. Alright, and I need to go deal with this dude. He's about to die. We gotta deal with this guy. Temperature low. Oh! I let this run forever, and now it's cold as fuck. Fuck. That was a mistake.
Temperature low.
That's a whoopsie daisy. At least we're at 0°C so the ice won't melt.
Hunger critical.
Are you sure it's not a longer variable and they didn't rename it? Yeah, I was Googling it, and they just removed the pressure internal variable, which I remember having to set in the past. Yeah. And if I look at the API for the available stuff, we can take a quick look real fast here. This dude's not happy, so we gotta let him chill in the room for a minute. So if we look at the vent, the powered vent here, you can see pressure external is writable. If we just look for like write, then you have mode, lock, pressure external, on, and that's all that's available to you. So like there's nothing else we could even be playing with. So by locking it and setting pressure external, that was somehow setting pressure internal to 0, and then it was failing. When I deleted the lock code and deleted the pressure external, and then physically pulled it off the wall and put it back on, then it started working. If that makes sense. So that was some weirdness. From what I read in the patch notes and a Reddit thread, they recently changed it so that you have to manually pay attention to the pressure internal yourself and just not turn on the fan if you're going to create too much pressure inside, if that makes sense. Alright, we're chilling, we're dancing. I can look at my code in here too. No, it's out there. Oh, my laptop's all the way over there. Oh, it's so far away. Alright, we're chilling. I'm gonna throw this at the wall. Yeah! I'm gonna throw my cake. Yeah! Wow. Okay, what am I doing? I'm gonna go right back in. Oxygen low, don't lie with me. We're good. Alright, I accidentally cooled it off to 0 Celsius, but that's also significantly less of a problem, or significantly less scary on this planet. Cold is not a problem, heat is a problem. Okay, I'm gonna grab this laptop, let's grab the chip, put it in this guy, and go right back in here. Okay. Take off the suit. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we got, let's see, how far did we get? We got to the stage emptying. And then we got to this point. We moved to stage complete, in theory, because we turned off the vent and we opened the door. So something's wrong in our stage complete logic, perhaps. Let's take a look. How are the... just like look at the constants and make sure it's the same. Stage complete. Stage complete. Didn't see anything change. Stage complete. Didn't see anything change. Okay. If we're in stage complete, then we branch of EQ, V stage complete, go to stage complete. Stage complete. Didn't see anything change. Branch if not equal to 0. V pressure pad is pressed. Main. So keep going to main until pressure pad is pressed is 0. So that when we step off, then it should move V stage to stage idle. Stage idle is this, right? I'm seeing no change in the text there, so that all seems good. Let's add one more thing. I want to alias D LED. It's going to be D2. I think you can do these with like a question mark or something. You can have it as like an optional variable. But we can just hard code it for, or we can put this in and then delete the code in a minute. But I just want to see what stage are we in. So we've got this, we got the LED as D2. I'm going to change this to 1, 2, 3 for our stages. And then while we're doing all our loopy things, we're going to say set the LED setting is going to be V stage. So now whatever stage we're on, 1, 2, 3, is going to show up in our LED. And then we should be able to get a little bit of an idea of what's going on in our program. Okay, my debuff is gone, so we can go back out without a problem. That goes there, this goes there, this goes on, immediate problems. We go here and program it and say you are the LED. LED small, okay. Turn that on. No. Why? What are you doing? Oh, you absolute fuck. Alright, what if I throw something over there? Give me something to throw. Not you. I love you too much. You're my laptop. You. Hua! There, that shuts. That opens. Okay. And it did pump to vacuum. Okay. So this is insightful. We're stuck in stage 3. It's stuck in that completed phase. Somehow it's not bouncing from stage to stage quite correctly here. Okay, let's put this here. Go to edit. Pause. I picked the thing up, right? I picked the thing up. We're still in stage 3. I feel like there's got to be like a small typo or something. We're getting all the way to stage 3. The stage complete. The pressure pad is pressed. Is this right? It's got to be setting. Setting's the only thing. I'm sure it's setting. So we've got that right. Oh. Branch relative, if not equal to z. I think that r is what's causing trouble. But I could be wrong. That's going to make it just like jump somewhere. Interesting. So that's main is what? Main is line 23, so that's jumping 23 lines. And then it's breaking. That's what's happening. I think that's what's happening. I think it was saying branch relative if not equal to z 23, which was triggering. So it would jump 23 lines further, which is just dead code, and then nothing happens. I think that's what's going on. I'm pretty sure. I think that little r, we don't want branch relative. That's like relative to our current line of code. That's like if we want to skip a line of code, which we've already used. We want branch explicit. Go here, exactly here, line 23. Interesting. Assembly is hard. This shit's tricky. Okay, how's this? I am now 40% sure that this is gonna work. I'm now 40% sure that I'm 80% confident that this is gonna work this time. Unless it doesn't. We save. We walk. Door shuts. Door opens. Still on 3. Fuck me with a hammer. Did I remember to export? I might have forgot to export. Also, don't fuck me with the hammer. I was being... That's dramatic. Don't do that. I don't like that. This upsets me. Uncomfortable. Let's grab this guy. Throw it in here. Do the export. Is that what I forgot? Let's take a look to... Branch not equal to z. Is there any other branch relative that I messed up here? Let's see, any other branch relative, sol branch, branch of equal, branch, branch, branch. Branch, 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 branch. Okay. I'm now 20% sure that I'm 60% sure. 1, 2, 3, 1. Oh, okay. I think it might have worked. I need to step off the pad. Whoops. So we're back to idle. Now, can we invert? That goes on, that goes in. Okay, there we go. Now we're done. One last thing to do. Let's edit this and remove the LED since we're no longer debugging. That was tricky. That was harder than I expected. For just like open and close a door. Okay, let's overwrite this. Call this good. Export. Throw it in. Maybe remove that LED. Throw it in our electronics section. This is some tricky shit, dude. I'm having fun, though. I love this game. I'm having a good time. Alright, I'm pretty sure it's all done, all working. That goes there. That goes there. Save one last time. Alright, so I am now 90% sure that this is going to work. So now our new airlock setup, instead of having to manually mess with stuff, we just walk in, wait a second, and walk out, and then come home, and wait a second, and then walk in. So this is like a small, this is a small thing, but that's way better, and we can use this on every airlock. I don't want to use it here yet, because we have a bunch of loose stuff in there in a small room, and every time this door opens, it's going to just like hurricane things into this room, which is going to hit the pressure pad and then cause this door to just be like constantly the wrong way and just obnoxious. So we'll still manually play with this one for now until we can eventually have, if we even have just like a bigger room with more air where there's not loose stuff blowing around everywhere, then we can use the same airlock here. But in general, we can use this airlock program, and for any airlock we're ever going to do, we can use that code. Okay, cool. So that is a very unnecessary nice to have, which is nice to have. Now, whenever we're moving in and out of the base, life is going to be a little bit easier, and we don't have anything to think about without any possibility of making mistakes. I like it. Seems good. And we got some cool purple colors. This is our first room that is mildly presentable. It's got lights, and it's got walls. Wow. Technology. We're killing it. We're killing it. It's beautiful. Alright, I think that's a good stopping point. I'm getting tired and hungry. I think I'm going to have some food. This was a pretty good session here. We got an upgrade on all the equipment. We got all the fancy stuff. We got better jetpacks and better tools. And we got nerd goggles that let us see through walls. See what's going on. We got big batteries. Which, by the way, how are the big batteries doing? Let's go look at that. Big batteries are super, super empty. Interesting. That's not great. Why? Need to figure that one out. Let me just real quick. This satellite dish isn't on, is it? Are you eating power or something? Nah, you're chilling. Okay, I don't know what that was. Real quick, too, I can plug this in before I forget, because I'm probably going to forget. Let's get this guy plugged in. I'll make it a little ugly, but it'll work. Alright, we got some big batteries. We got better solar panels. We need to replace some more and probably add some more since it looks like we're running low-ish on power. Okay. We got some airlock code. That's a decent session. Not too crazy, progress-wise. Nothing too amazing. But I'm feeling good about it. I'm thinking next time we might need to add a little bit more power. Would be good since it looks like power is kind of running low. I'm just going to turn on some devices ahead of time so that we stop draining power unnecessarily. But yeah, this is good. So add a little bit more power, and then we can start working on either automating production of furnaces, like I was talking about. We can unload our mining belts and sort that all and smelt it and resort it, or just kind of like dump it in this area. But that'll make mining a lot easier. We won't have to think about anything there. And we can plug that into other systems, like if we get auto generation of ores from, what do you call it? From the rockets or from deep miners, then we can run that through the same furnace program to get the smelting done. So that will be good. And then I think we want to do cooling. And if we get that done, once we get cooling, that's when we really start making some progress. We can cool off the base, we can start growing some plants, we can start mass producing oxygen and water, and actually get to the point where we are like fully sustainable. Cooling is the backbone of the base and what allows us to progress towards the later game. So time to start moving that direction. As well, we probably need to start growing some plants soon. The CO2 content in there is pretty absurdly high. So that's a thing to do. I think I'll be working on that next time. That's some good progress. I hope you enjoyed. That was pretty fun. I'll be uploading this on the YouTubes.